When was the last time you stretched your feet? Probably never. So you're probably wondering, why would we even stretch our feet? Well, they need some love. Your feet need some love. So you stand on them all day, which means they are holding all of that weight. And depending on what you do for work, or depending on what your day looks like and how often you're on your feet, again, you probably haven't given them a lot of love in a long time. So that's what we're gonna do in this video, quick stretch on your feet. So when you're ready, let's get started. So when you're ready, I want you to come to your mat. You're not gonna need any props or anything like that. And honestly, if you don't have a mat, that's totally fine too. So we're gonna start in standing position. Now, what I want you to do is just take one foot, any foot, and I want you to just come on the top of your foot. Now see if you can kind of put a little bit of weight on the foot just to feel that stretch out in the front of the foot a little bit. So see what that feels like. Add a bit more weight if you're not feeling anything, and make sure you back off if you're feeling a little bit too much of a sensation. So just hanging out here, make sure you're breathing. Inhale and let it go. Inhale and let it go. All right, just shake that foot out, maybe kind of whatever you need to do. Let it go, and let's go on the other side. So again, same thing, breathing here, putting a little bit more weight if that feels good, or backing off, you pick. So just breathe here, inhale, and let it go, exhale. Inhale, and let it go, exhale. All right, shake that one out. Now what I want you to do is, standing on both feet, what I want you to do is see if you can sort of spread your toes out nice and wide, and start by first putting the pinky toe on the mat, and then going sort of each toe on the ground until you put your big toe. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of in a row. So you're trying to feel that stretch, noticing if you have that control, and if you don't, it's okay. What I want you to do is focus on spreading the toes. So hanging out here, let's try that again. Just shake everything out, and again, pinky toe, and then dropping each toe slowly, and then feeling what this feels like, having all 5 toes on the mat. You want to feel the 4 corners of your foot planted into the mat, so nice strong foundation, and just see what this feels like. Your legs might be activated here, glutes are activated, and just seeing what this feels like. Okay, shake it out. We're gonna do it one more time. So and honestly, if this feels really weird, it's totally fine. So just sort of stretching out the toes here. So again, pinky toe, slowly, slowly, all your toes. And hanging out here with the foundation, just breathe, noticing what it feels like to have your feet firmly planted on the mat. Okay, shake that out. Let's come onto the mat now. So what I want you to do is come onto your shins, and what we're gonna do is sort of the same thing. We're going to tuck our toes, and I want you to spread your toes out. So all 5 toes are touching the mat. We're coming into a toe stand. So depending on how often you do this, and just depending on your feet in general, this might feel like a lot. So back off if it's too much. You can always bring your weight forward if it's too much. And if you can manage it, if it feels good for you, then you can maybe even lean back to add a little bit more weight into the feet. So we're gonna hang out here for a few breaths, just to let the feet sort of stretch out here, let them just get some love, right? So, but again, make sure you're listening to your body, so back out if you need to. So just breathe here. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing on at your own breath. Feel free to breathe through the nose or breathe through the mouth. So if you want to let go, maybe there's some tension you're holding on to, maybe you're going to just breathe out of the mouth and keep just letting it go. So breathe here. Noticing if it's starting to get a little bit intense. I know that I'm starting to feel some of the intensity, so just feeling it out, feeling what this feels like. Breathe here. Couple more breaths here. All right, let's tap it out. Hands to the mat, tap out the feet, let it go. From here, coming all the way back onto the heels, toes are untucked this time. And what we're gonna do is bring our hands all the way back, lifting the knees. So it's almost like the stretch that we did first, but standing just with both feet now. So notice what this feels like, notice what the sensation feels like. If you need more, coming a little bit further back, knees rise higher, or bringing the knees closer to the mat, depending on how it feels for you. So hanging out here, just breathing. We're here for 2 breaths. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And let it go. Coming back onto the knees, tap out those feet. Okay, from here, we're gonna do each foot. So I'm gonna turn backwards so you can see what this looks like. What we're gonna do is take one foot and place it over the other. Now, you may need to sort of move around here so that you can feel what the right spot is, but I want you to find some place that feels a little bit tender, that feels like it might need a little bit of love, and then I want you to bring the weight back. Now, just be careful here. Again, it can come really intense very quickly, so just take it at your own pace, let out a little early if you need to, or just bring your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat, taking some of the weight off of that foot. So breathing here. Nice deep belly breaths. Try to breathe into that tension, letting it go and feeling that release. Here for a few breaths, so just letting it go. All right, letting it go, bring the hands forward, tapping the feet out. And maybe just stretching them out, maybe pointing and flexing if that feels good. And then let's come over to the other side. So same thing, try and find that right spot, maybe moving your foot around a little bit, finding a spot that's maybe a little bit tender, feels a little bit tense, that just needs a little bit more of a release. And then bringing that weight back. Noticing if one side feels a little bit different than the other side, which is okay, just observing what that feels like in the body. And again, breathing here, breathing into that tension. Inhale. Let it go. Inhale. Let it go. Breathing here. Noticing what it feels like, hanging out here. Coming out early if you need to. Couple more breaths. And coming out. Hands forward, tapping it out. Again, maybe flexing and pointing. And bringing those feet all the way out in front of you. Now what we're gonna do is just point and flex. Point and flex, point and flex. Now, maybe just rotating the ankles here, just giving everything a release and just shake them out. All right, there is your quick foot stretch. I hope your feet are feeling a lot more loved right now. And if you like this one, maybe check out our 2-minute neck video and keep going, right? So stretch out that neck, get rid of that tension, and I hope you enjoy. So if you like this video, make sure you give us a comment or a like and subscribe for more. Thanks, everyone.